Yes, friends, we are under attack. We got a big update out of the incident in Wisconsin. We have to choose our words carefully here, but you've probably heard about what happened in Wisconsin, a tragedy. And we're now seeing that it was not random, it was very targeted, and you're going to be probably surprised by who it was targeting, or you might not be surprised. We also are going to be talking about mandatory AI that is uninstallable from your devices. We're going to be talking about what you can do about that and make sure you're aware of what's going on with that. We have advice and warnings on that. We got drone update in Ohio, and I have a few very important legal points for you, friends, to keep you out of prison. There's a lot of bad information going on out there, and your knee-jerk reaction might just land you in prison. So we need to talk about some of these things. We got another European government collapsing and another government on the verge of collapsing. We're going to be talking about that. We got the Syrian National Army preparing to attack Syrian Kurds. This is a big deal. It's going to get really messy over there. It looks like it's just devolving into a Libya situation, and that's heartbreaking to see. Soup bones going missing in our reports from our Watchmen out there. Also, we have how you can check to see if your hospital or the hospitals in your area, how they're doing with medical errors or medical accidents, doctor errors, which is the number 3 cause of death in the United States. We got a lot of important, heavy topics to cover, but very vitally important. Thank you so much for being part of the Watchmen community. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over the world. We got some tips and tricks in here, too, that you guys have kind of shared. We're going to talk about water distillation. So if you can't find distilled water and you really need it at the store, you can make it at home. We'll talk to you through how much it costs and all the stuff with that, and you can make a decision whether it's just better just to buy it at the store or make it at home. Before we dive in, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into gold, silver, or platinum. I'm a silver bug. That's what I'm invested in. If you can get it in your hands, that's the best. If you have retirement funds that you want to shift over into physical metal, you need an IRA management company to help you with that. Jonathan and his team at Genesis Gold would love to talk to you. There'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, let's start off with Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Friday night and Saturday, they had several, it's plural, so small unmanned aerial systems were spotted in the vicinity over a course of 4 hours. They had to shut down Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Is it the largest Air Force base in the world? It's at least one of the largest air bases in the world. And it was all shut down because some little flying objects going around. And of course, we're very sensitive to that right now, given the news. Let's talk about it. I know a lot of people out there are saying, basically, if it flies over my property, I'm going to take it down. Whether you're going to throw a net at it or whether you're going to use a boomstick, whatever. Let's talk about the legalities of that, because this is the same across the entire United States. Now, I can't speak to Canadian law and other laws. Let's just imagine that you have a drone that comes onto your property. It's hovering, say, 10 feet off the ground. So it's not like flying over your property. It's like on your property, right? And it's kind of circling your house. Gross violation of your privacy. Big problems. You get your boomstick out. Pow. What happens? Well, you just committed a federal crime. And this is something that people don't understand, and we haven't seen too many people we haven't seen them throw the book at people for this, but this is something that people don't understand and could be used against you. If they don't like you, they can throw the book at you on this. Since according to federal law, attacking a drone is technically a federal crime that can be punishable by 20 years in prison for a single instance. If you use a boomstick, they can also hit you with reckless endangerment, which can be a felony or a misdemeanor, depending on whatever they feel like, and also hit you with criminal mischief and some other various charges or whatever. So here's the deal. Drones, according to federal law, are classified as aircraft. So if you take out a drone, you didn't just take out a drone, you attacked an aircraft. See the problem there? Federal law, aviation law, hasn't really caught up to the fact that, drones, right? They just see it as you attacked an aircraft, which kind of carries the same penalties as if you took a boomstick out and started popping away at a manned aircraft. So this is a problem. And there's no height requirements. There's no height. It doesn't change if they're hovering 3 feet off the ground. Now, there are some, you can sue them and stuff like that if they're messing with your, for harassment and stuff like that. But you don't have the right to take your boomstick out and take it out. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the law. And given how they're really trying to go after people like you and me, be aware of that, okay? So, that hasn't been said on very many channels. You're getting that from me. I'm an accountant by trade. I read these things, and I want to communicate valuable information to you. Let's go over to Wisconsin. A lot of really very bad situation over there. A Christian institution for little people. What happened here? They came under attack by a radicalized 15-year-old feminist. Apparently posted a manifesto before they did this, explaining exactly what her intent was. In her words, every single male must be wiped out, from babies to the elderly. Only then will women be free to create a new world. I'll be a pioneer. I'll be the first one to take the first step. I don't care if they're fathers, brothers, husbands, sons, teachers, police, especially. And then she used the N word. So apparently also a racist as well as a feminist. I've been craving to off them all, except use the K word there. I think it's pretty clear what happened there. A radicalized 15-year-old feminist who has been brainwashed and probably on some stuff that she has moved to do this horrific act. Friends, they're radicalizing and mobilizing these people and aiming them right at us. You should feel threatened. We talk about security. We talk about getting more prepared and such. I'd like to talk a little more about security. I always feel a little worried about talking about security because there's folks, a lot of folks that you listen to who are much more qualified to talk about these things, whether it's unarmed physical altercations because they're judo belts and stuff like that. Other people have military experience that you probably watch and listen to, and they're much better to talk to you about some of these things. And I get some people are just like, just cover it anyway. But definitely be thinking about those things. Security. And are you safe anywhere? Well, you can be attacked anywhere. So you need to be thinking about safety everywhere. All right, we got, this is from Pets and Preps. Major cyber attack on Rhode Island government. Now let's hit the benefits system over there in the state of Rhode Island. It exposed personal data of tens of thousands. I don't know how many people are in the state of Rhode Island, but basically everyone on SNAP, that's food stamps, right? Child care assistance, health insurance assistance, and other programs. So the most vulnerable had all their private information taken out, could be released on the dark web anytime now. But apparently they had all their information stolen. The German government under Scholz has collapsed. No confidence vote has been held, so snap election looks like it's now going to be scheduled for February. They're going to have an election. AfD has not, this is important, AfD has not been banned. That's one of the things that they were really talking about doing before they have an election. They wanted to ban outright the AfD. AfD is Alternative for Deutschland or Germany. These guys are kind of like the Republicans, sort of, But of course, every country is different with the issues and everything like that. But, wanting to bring immigration under control, start documenting everyone who's actually in the country, having benefits available for those who are natural born citizens as opposed to just anyone who happens to wander into the country. All that kind of stuff. You're like, that sounds kind of libertarian, conservative kind of. So that just happened. The French government has collapsed. They're going to have elections. We're looking at, I haven't heard official word if the UK is going to have elections immediately soon. That's in the works, I think. It's hard. Why can't they just regularly schedule elections? I don't understand that. But, that's okay. Justin Trudeau in Canada is reportedly considering resigning after his finance minister resigned in protest. She was very upset with how Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, has handled things. And the way those parliamentary things, as you lose coalition members or as people in your cabinet level kind of people resign, it's usually because a bunch of people in Parliament who support them are pulling out of the coalition as well, or at least they're threatening to. And so that kind of moves you towards the point where your government loses enough support in Parliament that you have to vote again on a coalition government to be formed. Anyway, Parliament is kind of confusing. Anyway, let's go over to Syria. We're coming to the U.S. We're almost there. U.S.-backed Syrian National Army is massing troops and equipment to do an offensive against U.S.-backed Kurdish forces in the east. And if you're like, how can we be backing both of them? Well, friends, welcome to all that is the CIA and the military-industrial complex around the world. You find that it's not too unusual that American equipment is being used against people with American equipment. But, American jobs are safe in certain districts. I don't know. All right, let's get over here. Kim says, was at my local Walmart in South Central Pennsylvania. There were lots of holes there. It was just eggs that were missing, but a lot of other foods as well. It wasn't just as... we're going to be talking about soup bones here shortly. We're going to be talking about AI that's installed in your phones and laptops that cannot be uninstalled and what you can do about it. It's always listening, right? It always brings up those ads, right? Things that you happen to discuss, boom, suddenly it's like running ads and you're like, how does it know that unless it was just listening to me? And of course, we're also going to be talking about the distilled water such. Lynn says, my sister called me from Aldi's near Parkersburg, West Virginia. No cranberries, no carrots, other fruits and vegetables low. Eggs, $3.98 a dozen. She did not check the rest of the store as she was just there for carrots and cranberries. This is from Autism 180. If you guys have an update that you'd like to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That brings it up in the search so that we can check it out for these updates. Autism 180 says, we live in Holdenville, Oklahoma. I finally ran out of soup bones for our soups that I make. So I went to our grocery store today and was told that there are no soup bones. Not only that, but he said that he has been ordering beef soup bones for several months and has not gotten any. Additionally, he has no idea when or if any soup bones will be coming in. That second part worries me. We have always been able to buy soup bones, beef soup bones to add to our soup, or to buy as a treat for our dog. The butcher told me there is only pork bones and chicken bones now. Thank you for everything you do. We do have canned Keystone beef stocked up because you let us know about the beef situation, how it's changing. But the butcher at our grocery store still surprised me today on the soup bones. Now, it's not like we don't have soup bones anymore, right? Because obviously, when you butcher a cow, there's still bones there, right? And most people don't use the bones. But the thing is, when these companies just start seeing it as a waste and just kind of not really worth their time to sell them, it makes it harder and harder for you to get them. This is from Pry. Update from Eastern Tennessee. My Chromebook, so that's a Google-based operating system, right? My Chromebook was not running right. I decided to restart my computer. When it came back up, it had automatically installed an AI program called Gemini, right? I do not trust AI and want nothing to do with it. When I tried to see how I could remove it, I was informed that it's uninstallable. Yeah, it's just built into the operating system. You remember those, like when you had like Word back in the day and you had the little paperclip guy? He was kind of entertaining, but he was also really annoying. Remember, but you could turn them off. These AIs, well, part of the development of these AIs is they need access to information. Where do they get this information that they can train the AIs with? Well, they need to get this information from somewhere. So what are they doing? Well, if they can just put it on your phone, put it on your computer, your tablet or whatever, and so it's listening to everything and recording all of the words that you say, that's lots of data for the AI to be trained on. And you're giving it away for free. And it's listening to everything you say, documenting everything that you say. Anyone see any privacy violations happening there? All right, so Pry goes on to say, now I feel like I need to buy a new computer or be very careful about everything I say and do on my computer or even around it. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks here. Unfortunately, buying a new computer is probably not going to work because they're loading it into, it's in the operating systems of Apple, Microsoft, as well as Google. They're all putting it in there. And so it's going to be more just a variability of whether you can turn it off. All right, so first thing to do is, if you can, go into the operating system and turn it off. You tell it to turn off. Is it actually off? There's a good question right there. If you have your cell phone, you get your cell phone. One of the things you can do is open up your cell phone. And this is an Apple, so Siri. Hello, Siri. Siri, can you hear me? Siri, open an app. Doesn't do anything. That's a good test. Now, Apple, Siri, and then OK Google, right? I just triggered some of your phones, sorry. I shouldn't be using these hot phrases. But if you just got triggered, then you need to turn those settings off. If it responds, then it's listening, okay? Now, just because it doesn't respond doesn't necessarily mean it's not listening, but that's generally a good indication. If it responds from just voice commands without you pushing a button, I have to push the button so that Siri starts listening so I can then give it instructions. You should probably have that setting at least set. Does that protect your privacy completely? Not quite, probably. If you have a computer, like in this case, a Chromebook, if you're using a laptop, a lot of you guys don't use the microphone and don't use the camera. If that's the case, take a piece of tape, stick it over the camera, okay? Stick it over the camera. If you use the camera, you can always just take the tape off, right? Microphone, a little harder to deal with, but you can take hot glue or you can take other kind of glue and just stick it in there. Your microphone's broken now, so you can't use it ever again, but you can get a cheap microphone and plug it into your laptop or whatever and use it that way. Don't do that to your phone, okay? If you plug up the microphone on your phone has just been broken, so don't do that. But that's some options out there. Check your devices, talk to it, try using the trigger words when you're just kind of using it and see if it's listening. Because if it responds, it's been listening the whole time. It's been listening to every word, looking for those keywords, and probably documenting all of that on a server somewhere. Scary, but true, friends. Is that the end-all, be-all of safety and privacy? No, but that's like 101, okay? That's basics. So hopefully that kind of made sense to you. At least gives you enough to go Google instructions or search on YouTube how to do those things, right? Kenneth says, is anyone else having trouble getting cheap yellow, blue, and orange sponges? Not sure why we're talking about colors of sponges. Not scrubbing sponges, just everyday sponges. Went to 3 Walmart stores, including a mega store, and none were found. So I haven't heard of a shortage of sponges, but I haven't tried buying a sponge recently. So let us know if you're having issues with sponges. Sherry says hospitals are graded by a national nonprofit called Leapfrog Group, where they classify medical errors, accidents, injuries, and infections in hospitals, which kills north of 250,000 people a year. That's according to Johns Hopkins. But on Leapfrog, so if you go to Leapfrog, this isn't sponsored or anything like that. They're mentioning it. I haven't really tried it out myself, so hopefully it works. And if that doesn't work, then just think about that. Maybe you should search how many accidents your hospital has, and so you can be aware of that. Maybe you should go to this hospital as opposed to that hospital. I don't know. Hospitals are receiving F and D grades. They carry twice the risk of death as A hospitals. 5 hospitals in the Palm Beach County, Florida area received D and F grades, all owned by Tenet. Only 1 hospital in the county got a A grade, but that's a thought. It's the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States, right after heart disease and cancer. Did you know that? Doctors making accidents and making mistakes, and nurses making mistakes, kills more people than any other disease other than cancer, which is there's a lot of cancers, right? And heart disease. Perhaps we should be taking that seriously. If you're getting screened and everything like that for cancer, well, maybe you should check your hospitals so you go to the right hospital. If you have options. Some of you guys don't have options. It's like you're just going to the closest hospital, right? This is from Charles. Greetings from rural Maryland. Update. Finding eggs is getting ridiculous. Signs on shelves at some stores relocate as they relocate eggs to smaller areas. Often they are gone completely or a few packs left. They sell out early, very expensive. Cream cheese, sour cream unavailable. Canned veggies with December 2024 dates showing up on shelves. Canned veggies with dates expiring this month at 3 different stores. Check those dates, friends. Don't just get canned goods and go, oh, I'm sure they're good for a long time. They kind of are, but they're putting out old stuff for some reason. Production? I don't know. Joanne says, one more thing. I cannot praise Azure Standard enough. Good people out there, good stuff. The prices are comparable. And the people you meet, it starts out slow, but eventually you see familiar faces and conversations get going. I highly recommend them. No GMO, mostly organic, comparable prices in bulk. Something about gathering around a semi-truck, helping unload, talking. It's very fried green tomatoes on the train ride, giving food to the poor. Sorry. LOL. We have a lot of Mennonites, so that's really cool too. I love the life, just not the dresses. But that's just a thought for you guys. If you're looking for people to connect with, Azure Standard, if you put in an order and start showing up at the trucks, that's one way to start seeing people who kind of think along your way too, right? Missy says, I appreciate the updates people give. They help me stay ahead. My husband and I were just talking about how so much has changed in just a year. We've always been frugal and watched our pennies. We have never made a lot of money, but we were comfortable for the most part. We now no longer go out to eat. No more road trips, no extras whatsoever. We're struggling to save money. We're cutting everywhere we can. We're even selling some of our livestock to bring down the feed prices. I didn't go to a Christmas party simply because I didn't have extra money to bring a dish to share or a gift for the gift exchange. I'm self-employed and my income has gone down significantly, and now we're concerned about my husband's job at Nissan. Overtime was cut out and is looking rather iffy going into the new year. It is frustrating. The only thing more frustrating are the people who think everything is fine. And this is from She Can Homestead, and then I got some tips and tricks here too. Regarding distilled water, herbalists use distilled water when making herbal tinctures. I'm in North Georgia mountains, and every week I look for distilled water and buy a gallon to add to my stock whenever I see it. I haven't seen it in 3 weeks. Others of you kind of point out that you can get devices to do water distillation at home. So I did a little research here. So on Amazon, you can get one for $62. I'll put that down in the pinned comment down below. $62 for a 1 gallon unit. It uses approximately 15 to 30 cents per gallon of electricity to make a gallon of water, and it takes about 3 hours. Now, it does have plastic on it, so if you want to get like the all glass version, it's going to be another $20 to get the glass version, and that's, you know, you can do your math and you can figure out whether that will save you money over the long haul. If you use a CPAP machine and you're willing to kind of use your tap water to make you know, distilled water, or if you have other uses for it, that might save you money in the long haul, and it would definitely make you more self-sufficient, and you don't have to go to the store carrying those gallon jugs anymore. So if that helps any of you guys, let me know. But I'll put that down in the pinned comment down below for you guys. If you guys want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.